So, Lee Daniels' new horror movie, The Deliverance, marked a reunion for the director and Monique following their feud that lasted for over a decade.
You know how when you were a kid and you went to bed December 24th and you knew December 25th it was going to be something special? That's Lee and I.
But when I tell y'all a lot has been happening with this production, honey, I mean exactly that. From real demonic events happening on set to people questioning the true nature of Lee and Monique's relationship, and Lee getting slammed for calling Glenn Close's white ratchety character the fabric of the black community. Child, before we even get started on anything, how did Lee Daniels even convince Glenn Close to play Alberta in the movie? Is she broke? Did she owe him a favor? I mean, the movie sure had people talking, and like always, I'm gonna be breaking down the good, the bad, and the ugly, which is a lot, by the way. First of all, if we are gonna start with the good, the cast for The Deliverance was phenomenal. I mean, 10 out of 10, he ate with that casting. A huge shout out to Lee for working with the entire team, especially Monique. And on Netflix at that was a huge flex. Now moving on, the movie is also inspired by true events, which in and of itself is super creepy. And it goes on to tell the story of Ebony, a single biracial mother with 3 children who moves her recovering addict mom into her new house to help take care of the kids. Then, as Ebony faces scrutiny from a social worker, the family must also battle a demon that is possessing the kids. And believe it or not, this is based on real events. No wonder some crazy things were happening on that set. Apparently, after reading what happened on the sets of The Exorcist and Poltergeist, Lee Daniels decided to have an actual deliverer on the set of The Deliverance. But very weird things still happened.
Because I read the making of Exorcist. I read the making of what was that Poltergeist, and things happen.
Yeah.
And I was not going to let things happen on my set, and also I needed it for me. And so we prayed before every. And there's those of us that don't believe in prayer. There were those that don't, and it was still okay. I think Glenn, we brought you in and we prayed. You prayed and. Was that your first time sort of experiencing that sort of experience too?
Praying in a circle on a set?
Yeah.
Yes. With somebody, with the deliverer who spoke in tongues sometime?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was incredible.
For starters, Lee said that his sister is in every movie that he has ever done as his good luck charm. And she was in the scene with Glenn in the chemo scene. And she's the one that gave her a little bit of attitude in the chemo scene. But 2 days later, after being in the chemo scene, she was diagnosed with lung cancer. Yikes. Tell me that is not creepy as hell. And as if that wasn't enough, Lee also revealed that his dog died on the set of The Deliverance.
What? Literally, my dog died on the set. When we were putting the she was spraying the demon out, a fire extinguisher. It backfired in her face. It could have put her eye out. It was. Yeah, and that's with all the prayer that we have.
Hold on, it gets even creepier, because Monique was also hospitalized during the production. What happened was that she was required to do a scene outside because the demon was supposed to be on top of the building. So they kept blowing for the illusion, and at one point, Mo said she was like, Lee, do we have to do this scene because I can't breathe? So they kept blowing, and he was like, one more time. And by the time they got finished, Mo said her thyroid was inflamed, and she was just sick.
He was like, one more time. So when I got finished, right, my thyroid was a big, I mean, it was just sick. Oh, baby. I was like, what kind of is this? Yeah, so it was a lot of things happening with the delivery.
Anywho, all this juju aside, Lee Daniels has been receiving a ton of heat for saying that Glenn Close's character is a fabric of the black community. Truth be told, Glenn is a remarkable actress, and she was amazing. We can't argue about her talent. But her transformation into Alberta includes teased wigs, heavy makeup, and a body-hugging wardrobe. And according to Lee, she is based on many white women who are frequently a fixture in black communities. He even wrote on X, every black person knows in Alberta. She's part of the fabric of our community, but we've never seen her on screen before. Thank you, Glenn, for bringing her magnificently to life. As far as Glenn is concerned, she said she didn't take her role lightly because when Lee told her that there are white women like this in every black community, she was intrigued and she wanted to do her justice. Honey, this is one character that people really talked about because while Lee was talking about Alberta being part of the fabric of the community, a lot of black people were questioning what he was talking about. One person was just like, the The sewing scenes was cute. I enjoyed the movie and Glenn's acting, but the fabric of our community is crazy, Lee. We also had someone else saying, I think you may be painting with a wide brush there. I've been a black person for 37 years. I know not one Alberta. And I'd also like to ask, what community is she the fabric of? You're dragging it, sir. And yet another person responded by saying, why would you insult your main fan base, black people, just to pedestal white people who won't even pay attention to your work unless they can profit from it? Pathetic. Now, it's worth noting that Glenn Close's portrayal is loosely based on the real-life LaToya Ammons, a black woman. And that also had people giving Lee the side eye. And one person noted this saying, Lee Daniels needs to be for this crap. Erased a real black woman and replaced her with Glenn Close and asked her to act like every white woman I hated when I was younger. Some people also seem to have a problem with how in one scene, a bedridden Alberta is possessed by a demon saying to her daughter, I can smell your nappy, you know what? To be fair, she was possessed when she said she could smell the nappy private parts. But then again, some people were just not having it. Someone actually said, choosing to make this character white and then calling her the fabric of the black community was definitely a choice. Another choice was to have that same woman refer to a black woman's private parts as a derogatory term for curly hair. A lot of choices made recently. Basically, a lot of people were saying that the way Lee portrayed Alberta and was talking about Glenn all the time made it look like he just wanted a white woman in the movie, yet there were so many other angles to the movie. Like this relationship with Monique, for instance. I mean, that's a pretty big story considering the kind of relationship they had. And the movie got to air on Netflix after the drama Mo also had with Netflix. And just for a bit of background, what happened between Mo and Lee was that after their film Precious became such a huge deal, Tyler Perry and Oprah got involved and became executive producers of the movie. According to Monique, by the time they were joining, the movie had been filmed, and as far as she was concerned, she'd fulfilled her contractual agreements. But according to her, Tyler Perry, Oprah, and Lee Daniels wanted her to attend the festivals, award ceremonies, and events linked to Precious. But she said she wasn't going to work for free. Because of that, they all blackballed her and labeled her difficult to work with.
I have no contract with Lionsgate. I have no contract with you, with Oprah. The only person I had a contract with was Lee Daniels. Right. And I fulfilled my contract. Now, if anybody else wants me to do anything else, there's a price to that, because what we're not in is slavery. So what I cannot do is work for y'all for free.
Now, when it comes to Tyler Perry, allegedly, there's even an audio out there of Tyler Perry bluntly admitting that he is the one who started the rumor that Monique is difficult to work with.
Tyler Perry called us up, right? And he said, I can see the pain in you and I can hear it. And I want to let you know that I would never do nothing to hurt you. But the conversation kept going on. Only for Tyler Perry to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied. Only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong. And when my movie Boo come out, I'm going to say that. Right?
In fact, Mo also said that Tyler Perry was not only spreading the rumor that she was difficult to work with, he also started bribing the people who reached out to him to tell him that what he did to her was wrong. The thing is, Mo had recorded Tyler Perry talking about how he lied about her, and she sent the recording to a few people, including Reverend Al Sharpton. Apparently, when the Reverend heard the audio, he said that he would reach out to Tyler Perry. But according to Mo, they never heard from the Reverend again. The next thing she knew, Reverend Al Sharpton was on a podium talking about how we don't need to fly commercial because we can fly Tyler Perry's jet. Then when it comes to Oprah, Mo still says to date that Oprah played a huge part in the blackballing because she saw what was happening, she had the power to change the narrative, and she did absolutely nothing about it.
Now here comes, she's difficult to work with. Her and her husband, they are difficult. They are these difficult people. So now nobody's going to touch Monique because Oprah Winfrey said nothing. Though there was a conversation that she had with my husband.
The thing is, Monique said that behind closed doors, Tyler Perry was apologetic, even though he refuses to do it publicly. And while Oprah has refused to acknowledge anything, Lee Daniels did in fact publicly apologize to her.
A long time to realize. I am so sorry for hurting you in any way that I did. Y'all, she was my best friend. My best friend. Y'all think that Precious was just, that was God working through both of us. And we gonna do it again. I love you, Staten Island. We love y'all.
Again, people were like, maybe Lee could have spoken more about this other than making it obvious that he thought Glenn was the star of the process. Well, in his defense, it's not like he didn't talk about other things other than Glenn, because before the movie dropped, Lee was asked about what it was like working with Monique, and he said, wasn't that God working? First of all, part of me trying to find my higher power was also understanding what that meant, and that meant forgiveness. That meant apologizing even if I didn't understand what I was apologizing for. I had to understand that she was hurt, and that is my sister, and that I love her. And like, what is this about? You know what I mean? This is crazy. I love you. This is enough. So not only am I going to apologize, but I'm going to apologize publicly to you, and we're getting ready to work together. And then we're going to work together again. How about that? He also talked about the relationship when they were doing promos and said again that Mo is like a sister to him.
You know what you're standing in and what you're standing for? Don't stop, because you never know what could happen on the backside of that story. And you see what happened. We got back together.
She's like my sister. And not only did I apologize, but come on, girl, let's go to work.
For her part, while speaking with Variety during the premiere of The Deliverance, Monique also revealed that she always had confidence in her relationship with Lee Daniels, saying, he's my friend. You ever have somebody in your life where your chemistry is right there, but something happened and it pulls you apart, but you don't forget the heart of the person? You don't forget the purity of this person, and you say, I'm willing to fight for this friendship. Well, we also had people saying that they are not here for Mo and Lee's rekindled friendship because it's giving some serious fake vibes. I mean, these two have been enemies for years, and when they reconciled, the first film project they choose to do is about demonic possession. We even had people sarcastically pointing out that Mo is willing to rekindle that relationship, but she's not willing to rekindle the one with her son. Excuse me. Anywho, do you also believe that Lee knew what he was doing when he made Glenn play Alberta? Does it bother you knowing that in real life the grandmother is black and Lee could have given one more black woman a check? Also, what are your thoughts on Mo and Lee working together again and the strange things that happened on the set of The Deliverance? Would you be surprised if the friendship is fake just so they can promote the movie? Sound off in the comments section below.